Hey, what is going on everyone? Thanks for tuning in. This is Shark from Shark Tech, and this is the Xiaomi Redmi 4X. If you're already watching this video, then chances are you probably know what this is. If not, then you might want to stick around because this is a darn good phone for $120. Now I have to be honest with all of you, this is my first Xiaomi phone and I got this out of curiosity to see what can $120 get you in 2017. And I have to say, spoiler alert, I am really loving this phone. When I was searching online for a relatively low price phone with very little compromises, the Redmi 4X kept coming up and everyone seemed to really like it. So I decided, okay, I'll give it a try. And I have to agree, there's a lot that you're getting for your $120. So there are a lot of review videos out there on YouTube for the Redmi 4X. So this video is not gonna be a full review of the Redmi 4X because I'd just be repeating what everyone else is saying. But rather, I'd go for the more user experience side of things and tell you about some of the things that I've observed while using this phone for over the last month as my daily driver. There are things that I love about this phone and there are some things which I hate. So I'm just going to highlight those things to you and hopefully you'll find this video useful. So let's start off with the things I love about this phone. And the first thing that I have to mention about this phone is the build quality. I've seen Xiaomi phones before, and then most of them in the previous generation of Xiaomi Redmi 3 or before that were made out of plastic, but this one is really well made, with the back, this portion being made out of metal, and then this portion, the top and the bottom, are made out of plastic to allow for antenna reception. The front of the phone has a 2.5D curved glass which feels really good in the hand, and your fingers sort of just glide on the sides. I really love that. And the bottom also has a notification light right below the home key over there. The volume button and the power button over here are really well made and they have a very solid tactile feedback. So when I press it, you can probably hear that. The only thing that I wish they would change about this phone is that if the keys, the hardware keys, were backlit. They're not backlit at the moment and sometimes it might be a bit difficult for you to find them. Next up in the list of things that I love is the screen. Now on paper this is a 720p resolution screen, and in the day and age of almost 4K screens that we see in high-end phones, you might be thinking that is not enough. But to be honest, this is a very good quality screen, and let me zoom in over here. You can see that it looks plenty sharp. On my day-to-day usage of this phone, there are very few occasions when I actually felt like, oh, this screen is not good enough. It was pretty good for most of my use and watching videos on YouTube. Though you'll be restricted to 720p, it is pretty darn good. And the best thing about the screen is that it gets really bright. I have had no problem using this phone in a very sunny broad daylight outdoors, whereas my other daily driver such as my Galaxy S7 has had very poor visibility in the same daylight condition. So the screen over here is very good. Next up, about the things I love is the dual SIM with dual data functionality in this phone. Now some of the phones in this price range that are dual SIM will not have dual data. So I tried it out with 2 SIMs and I managed to take some screenshot when I had 2 SIMs in the phone. You can see that there's my SIM 1 and there's my SIM 2. One has 3G, the other one has 4G. And you can have both the SIMs activated at the same time. You can pick which one has data. This is only for 4G. Both SIMs will have 3G data even without you having to pick your primary SIM for data, and that is an awesome feature. Next on my list of things I love about this phone is the battery life, which I think is also what everyone who owns this phone also loves about this phone. The 4000 mAh battery of this phone can easily give you a 2-day of usage if you're a medium to light user of your smartphone. This might be a very good choice for people who are going on a road trip or who are going traveling and don't want to carry your charger, probably because you won't be able to charge when you're out and about. Then this phone will be a very good choice. That's exactly what happened to me a couple of days ago when I took a road trip. It was a 12-hour journey from my place to where I was going, and I had data activated in my SIM. I was listening to Spotify almost all the way through. You can see over here that the phone battery at the end of the day was still 34%. Mobile signal and mobile data was on for most of that duration. Wi-Fi was on, and the screen on time is also pretty significant. So you can see that I was turning the screen on to check messages, send messages, and sort of switch songs on Spotify. And the charging bar is empty because I did not charge my phone during that 12-hour journey. I can never imagine that type of battery life from an iPhone or let's say a Samsung Galaxy S7 or S8. It's just not possible. Adding on to the list of things that I love about this phone is this thing right over here. So this right over here is the IR blaster, which many of you might be thinking, that's not very important for me. That's what I thought as well, and I'm telling you, I was wrong. This thing is really awesome. It's like having your own universal remote in your pocket, and I have liked it so much that I have had a dedicated shortcut for almost every single appliance that I own in the house right on my home screen over here. So the app that the phone comes with is pretty robust. So you just go to add a device, and then you can see over here a list of things from Xiaomi products to TVs, air conditioners, AV receiver, set-top boxes, cameras, DVD players, fans, and so on. So if I go into a category, you can see that the list is pretty robust. It has all the major brands and even some brands that I don't even know. Maybe this one is a Chinese brand that makes televisions. So far I've managed to pair it with almost everything that I own, and I think it's probably gonna be the case for most of you as well. And there's just something really cool about not having to look for your aircon remote or your TV remote and just be able to go into the app and then press the button to turn on or off your air conditioning units. So this is another feature that I think you will start loving when you start using it. So those were just some of the things that I really love about this phone, and those are the things that make me want to keep continuing to use this as my daily driver. Now let's move on to the things about this phone that I don't love as much, or you can say to some extent that I hate about this phone. Now probably the biggest thing that I hate about this phone is MIUI. I say that because from time and time again I have realized that MIUI is very badly optimized. Now let me give you a few examples. This unit is the 3 GB version of the Xiaomi Redmi 4X, and you can see the available memory over here is just 1 GB. No matter how few apps I have open at any given point in time, the available memory is hardly ever above 1 GB. So I don't know where all the other memory is being used, but the memory is always very low. So I can't imagine you being able to use this phone very comfortably if you get the 2 GB version variant of this phone. Probably the best one to get would be the 4 GB version variant, but that was not available when I wanted to buy it, and I don't think that is $120. The price for that is slightly bit more expensive. So if I close all of these apps, you can see that 75 MB just got cleared. That means even when there's no app running in the background, the available memory is still only 1 GB. Now come on Xiaomi, this is just ridiculous. So the next issue with MIUI that I'm having is that some apps are just not responding very well. For example, WhatsApp. You can see that WhatsApp over here, the counter over here shows that I have 1 message in WhatsApp, but the reality is when I pull down the notification shade, I actually have 26 messages from 3 different chats. In my Samsung phone or other phone, this counter would have shown 26 instead of 1. I don't know why this is happening. If any of you know what is this issue with WhatsApp and how to fix it in MIUI, so the version that I'm running on right now is MIUI 8.5.2, and that's the one that's giving me this issue. So if any of you know how to fix this issue, then do put it in the comments section below, and I'd really appreciate it. I'm sure that other people are probably also having this issue, and it'll help out everyone. Furthermore, talking about MIUI optimization issue, this phone does not support game controllers like the PlayStation controller. So my preferred way of gaming is using a setup something similar to this. So I have a PS4 controller which I connect to my smartphone, and then I can sort of game with it. So you can see that the controller is working perfectly fine now. I can move through home screens, and it's just plug and play. When I connect the cable, it just works. But when I connect the same cable to my Xiaomi Mi 4X, nothing happens. And I've read online in many MIUI forums, a lot of people are complaining about it. They really want this feature, but MIUI is just not optimized for features like this. Switching from the software side of things to the hardware side of things, this phone does not have 5 GHz Wi-Fi antenna. It does not have Wi-Fi AC, it only has Wi-Fi BG and N. What that means is I am getting slower speeds from my home Wi-Fi network, and I'm getting a smaller network coverage area as well. So if I compare this to the network that I see on my Samsung Galaxy S7, you can see that there's a 5 GHz connection that is available to me in my house. I don't even see that in the Redmi 4X because the Redmi 4X does not have that Wi-Fi antenna. So because of this reason, I'm not getting network coverage in some parts of my house when I'm using this phone compared to my Galaxy S7. That brings us to the next issue that I'm having with the Redmi 4X, and that is actually related to connectivity, but this time around it's the Bluetooth connection. What I'm noticing is the Bluetooth connection is very glitchy, so when I connect it to my Bluetooth earbuds or my Bluetooth sound system, it does not work very well. What I mean by that is, let's say I have a Bluetooth device connected, such as my UE roll over here. So when I turn the UE on and I connect, should show up. So now they're both connected. When I play music, and then I press the silent button, the music just stops. You can see that the music is still playing, but then it cuts out the connection with the Bluetooth device. If I turn off the silent, it comes back. But the same problem does not happen if I silent the device first and then connect to the Bluetooth device. So let's try that. So now the UE roll is disconnected. Let me silence the phone. Turn on the Bluetooth again. It should connect. Now that's connected. So you see, even though silent toggle is turned on, now I can play the music. So you can see that there's this inconsistency over here. If I have the Bluetooth device connected first, then I turn on or off the toggle, it seems to cut out the connection completely. But if I have the silent toggle turned on first and then connect the Bluetooth device, then it works. So there's definitely a Bluetooth glitch over here. So there you go guys, this was a roundup of things that I love and I hate about the Xiaomi Redmi 4X. As you can tell that there are a lot of things that I really love about this phone, and I think you're getting a lot of value for $120. You're getting a lot of good features, great build quality for $120. And most of the things that are annoying me at the moment about this phone are software related. They are mostly related to the MIUI. I hope Xiaomi is listening to its customers, and then they're gonna fix a lot of these with a software update in the near future. So I hope you found this objective review of the Redmi 4X helpful, and if you did, do show me your support by giving this video a like and put your questions and comments in the comment section. I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible. And if you want more objective reviews like this, then do subscribe to my channel. It'll help me out a lot, and hopefully you'll get a lot of good content from the channel. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.